You know what's weird is that we get together to do the cake and cookie show. Congratulations on show number 125.
Hey, hey.
I know. And with video, right? With both cakes and cookies on the background.
Yes.
Squint if you have to, but they're there.
They're there. They are there.
They have our show has what I like to call pre-show topics. The stuff that we, as soon as we, link, we're already talking about them. And I got two from you today. One is the road trip, and one is you don't like to share. Which would you like to talk about?
I hate sharing.
Okay, let's talk about that.
This is not my hateful thought, but
and you do have one, right? Okay, a hateful thought?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're all good. Good.
It's short and sweet.
Good. Just like you.
Part of that's true. It's up to you to figure out which part.
I think I know.
But no, I hate sharing, and this
Yes,
office situation is really, it just goes right up my ass.
Wow.
Dan is messy.
Okay, no, well, I mean, lay the groundwork. You're sharing an office with him.
Yeah, we're sharing an office, and I like
and he talks loud.
He talks loud. He has gotten better about moving his stuff. We're not just sharing an office, we're sharing a desk.
That's pretty. You know what that is? That's the kind of intimacy that a married couple requires. Because like when we were working together at some of our radio related activities, we've shared an office.
Yeah.
And I'm a loud talker. But we couldn't. I think I talked the loudest when I'd be editing with headphones and forget that I had headphones on.
Oh my
and
God.
I'd say,
the best
hey!
You'd whip your head around with your headphones on and it'd be like, shh, 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 shh. It's too loud.
Too loud?
It's too loud.
Too loud. It's just too loud.
But so I have to, bring in my laptop. I've got, my shoebox that the laptop goes on. The desk is too high. The
Is
chair
it
doesn't
really
go...
on a shoebox?
Yeah.
What kind of shoes?
Nike.
Nike shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they might be good shoes for tennis.
These are, I believe... This is the shoebox I was talking about that I keep my... It's a size like 13. It is labeled...
Well, they're not your shoes then.
Oh, no.
You know who they are? They're old trumpet mouth shoes.
It was a shoebox that I took from my mom's house.
Oh, so they're not Dan's shoes?
No, they were my stepdad's.
Oh, okay. How big are Dan's feet? I bet he's got some canoes. You've never bought him shoes, have you?
It's none of my business.
It's every bit your business.
I don't know. I don't.
God forbid you survive him. And you're going to have to plan for his funeral.
Lord, just take me now. I couldn't possibly live without Dan.
And let's say it's a full open casket. Or even better, one of those like boutique funeral homes where they set them up doing something they like I've seen people on motorcycles.
Oh,
put their corpses.
No, Dan would require a recliner that I refuse to let him buy.
Well, you should let him have a recliner in death then.
And definitely cup holders.
But I would think that if you had to get him set up in his death recliner.
No, we didn't get a coffin. Gosh,
no.
Gosh, no.
No, it's a Barca-lounger, except we call it a Darka-lounger.
He's a lazy boy.
It's an extremely, unstoppably lazy boy. But you see, we're derailing from the thing. Right. What? Go ahead.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
Because if you bury him on the recliner. No, we got to go forward from we're going to get back. We'll go around a ring light. It's circular, baby. But when you put him up on the recliner. Part of the
sharing is my dang ring light.
Oh, I didn't mean to pick that scab. But listen, when you go to this Savannah boutique funeral parlor, and I forget the name of it. It might be the Pink House. What happens is they
in the basement.
Yeah,
the Planters Tavern.
That's a sort of an inside joke for Savannans. But you're going to go there, and they're going to say, "Well, we can set him up in a recliner for the viewing, but we're going to need some shoes. What size does he wear?" And you would say, "I don't know." So you should know what size he wears. For my funeral, I wear size 13.
I think probably 11.
Okay. He doesn't fall down a lot. He's very tall to have size 11 feet.
So he has strange feet. This is part of why, like, I would never buy him shoes.
Does he have like webbed toes or flippers? I mean, what does he have?
Flipper, like, they're flat. I've never seen, like, they're the flattest Fred Flintstone looking feet I have ever seen.
As flat as Jimmy Carter's? Jimmy Carter had to stand on Coke bottles to raise his arches to get into the military because he had flat feet, I think, from peanuts. I don't know a lot about Jimmy Carter, but I think the peanuts caused the flat feet.
Georgia's own. I really don't know.
Oh, I forgot he's from your state.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry he passed.
He was from our state.
No, they've already
what
set him
Jimmy
up
Carter
in the...
do?
What, he died.
I know.
Oh.
That's like, it's just, so, there's like WWJC.
Oh.
Wait. What would
it would be WWJD would be what would Jimmy do or what would Jesus do?
But he has the same initials.
WWJEC do. D. That's what would James Earl Carter do if you want to separate him from Jesus.
Okay.
But anyway, let's just say that Jimmy Carter, they're taking care of him at the Pink House. And they call Rosalind. Did she survive him? I can't remember.
No.
Okay, so the Pink House calls Amy Carter, who, by the way, still red hot. And they call Amy and they say, Miss Amy, we're setting up your father in a sort of a mock Oval Office for the viewing. Then we'll bury the entire office, but what size shoe does he wear? Amy would know.
Okay.
Have I gone too far?
I swear, sometimes I look at Dan's feet and I think they're as wide as they are long. Yeah. They're the strangest looking feet I've ever seen. And I mean, God bless him.
How is he at swimming? Is he excellent?
Okay, so when he played kickball with the neighborhood adults around here,
maybe that's what flattened the feet.
I swear, everyone would talk about, he runs like a gazelle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because his legs essentially go all the way up. He's very long-legged.
Yeah, my parents used to watch me at the playground secretly when I was little and say...
Just to laugh.
Well, yeah, they say he's funny when he runs. He can't run. I told you this about Robert, right?
No.
Okay, Robert, my son. Maybe there are people just joining us for the first time. And let's just, with a big, joyful laugh, say they're still listening. Here's a little backup you'll need. Is that my son Robert is a leukemia survivor. He was diagnosed at age 2 and change, and he was under treatment for about 3 years. He's cured now. He's fine. He is perfectly cancer-free. I have, you have, he has. We all have the same chance of getting leukemia now. It's not even like a recurring thing. He's totally clear. But when he was going through treatment, they used some pretty wicked meds on him. He lost his hair, like people do. He would get really hard. He would eat like crazy. I saw a 2.5-year-old eat an Uno's pizza. He ate an Uno's pizza. But one of the things was he'd get cramps because of all the meds that were going. They would dehydrate him and his legs would hurt. And so Carrie and I went through this thing where I would go through this big ritual of wrapping his leg. Sometimes it was a sock, sometimes it was an ace bandage, but really it was just buying time for whatever fluid we gave him to kick in. But he thought I could cure him with these magic wraps. Anyway, that's really just sort of adjacent to the story.
That's been heartbreaking, Rob.
Well, no, he's fine now.
I know he's fine now, but that's just like that's just amazing.
I'm a pretty sweet guy. Back then, before the drinking got out of control. Those was what I call the sweet spot.
You're back on the straight and narrow now, so it's good.
So we watched him run, and he wasn't good. And no. I didn't know that my folks made fun of me when I was 4 or 5 years old. So we went to the doctor, and I'll never forget the doctor's name, Dr. Jay Greenberg. Amazing guy. Has saved so many kids. He's retired now, but he started a pediatric cancer outfit, an office that was eventually got so big and lauded, it was absorbed by Children's Hospital, which is a pretty high praise.
Yeah.
So Dr. Greenberg said, how's he doing? Because we'd go in about every 2 weeks. And I said, we're kind of worried about the way he runs. He says, that could be related to the meds. So he said, Robert, we're going to have some fun. And Robert said, what? He said, we're going to go out in the hallway and we're going to run. And Robert's like, inside? He said, yeah. So we went out there and we stood at the end of a doctor's office hallway. And he said, I want you to run all the way to the end of the hall, and then I want you to run back to me. And Robert did. And then we all went into the room, and the nurse took Robert into the exam room, and we stayed out with the doctor. And the doctor said, it's not cancer related. He's just a bad runner. And
Oh, dear.
I know. And I said, oh. And, I don't even know if that's good news or bad. I don't know. So
the doctor probably went home and was like, you would not believe this kid we saw today.
That's when I came to my parents and I said to them, Robert has a medical diagnosis of being a bad runner. And my mom said, yeah, just like you were. And then she told me that they used to watch me on the playground surreptitiously run and make fun of me. Ha!
This is fantastic.
Right. So in my boutique funeral, I'm not going to be running at all. You know what I might be? Pose me selecting something on my jukebox.
For a split second, I thought you said hose me. And I was like, with what?
Well, a hose. Sometimes the answer's in the question.
What's supposed to be coming out of the hose?
I have no comment.
Kool-Aid.
Could be. Could be that good THC drink from Seoul that I like so bad, the raspberry lemonade. But anyway, so I'm not a good runner, so I won't be running. But Dan runs like a gazelle.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good.
So I don't know if it's his.
But he's not running
feet.
it's not running like a gazelle in your office that he uses.
No, I don't know. No.
So what's the problem with sharing with him?
This might come as a shock to you.
No, it's possible.
I'm what some might call particular. I'm also what some might call anal retentive.
I don't see that trait in anybody in the broadcast world. Ever. Especially me.
I don't like I like things to be where I like them. Every time I come into, because I might get like 5% of the time used in this office might be mine.
Well, like 5% of 24 hours a day. Is he in there all the time? Or is like 5% of the 8 hours that are working hours?
Of the working hours.
Okay. All right.
I just get it's fractional. So to the point that he even still calls it.
It's satisfactional.
He even says he calls it my office.
Oh, it's not our office?
No.
Yeah. Carrie likes to say things like my house and my bedroom. And I say, my name is literally on the paperwork. The very least you could give me is our house. Yeah.
But, he's got like a couple pairs of headphones over there. There's some random wires, a packet of markers. There's
I really thought you were going to say a pack of Marlboros. And that would be really horrible for the office.
He doesn't like to share either.
No, but he can hold 4 cigarettes in his flat foot.
It's like, I'm going to go out for a smoke. And then he never comes back. And I'm like, yes, I got the office to myself.
No, because that might be when you lose him and then you got to plan the funeral. And that's no good. So you want him in the recliner for his funeral? I'll be standing. That's the irony of it all. Me standing in death. I'll be at my jukebox. Maybe holding some 45s. How about you?
Oh, definitely. Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I could put 45s on my ears.
I want cremated.
Well, so do I.
But like, there's not an oven hot enough. I want to dissipate.
You need like a pizza oven. This is Katie with sausage and mushrooms. This is episode 125, and this opening rant, coupled with our talk about the Pope, is this show darker than it used to be?
We're living in dark times, Rob.
Yeah, I think it could be that. So you know what? How about this, America? Sorry about all the death talk. I don't really want to be. I want to be burned up in a pizza oven too. I've stated in my will No viewing. Absolutely
Oh,
prohibited. Yeah, I don't
God,
want anyone
no.
to see it. No. I mean, I was joking about going to the Pink House. Do you think Dan's an open casket guy? He's sort of a look at me guy.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
Dan
So
would no.
Will he
Dan would
cremate
be
or
like,
closed casket? Closed casket. I almost said cacket.
I
That's
think
not
just
right.
cremated, and he'd probably be like, just keep my ashes with Judd.
Okay, I want my ashes to go in the Atlantic, but I also, this is all in my will. The bulk of my ashes get to go in the Atlantic. One handful of ashes at the house of my grandparents where I grew up, and I say where I want them thrown, and one handful at the Grizzly in King's Dominion, which is my favorite roller coaster. And I also wrote in my will, and I quote, if anyone wants some of my ashes, they may have them if they provide their own container and they're not too greedy. Because a lot of times
you can
people
have
have
a
always
pipette.
said, yeah, well, a lot of people have said there's not enough Rob to go around. And there was a
Nobody
while
says
when
that.
there was,
Nobody says that.
but now that I'm skinny, now that I weigh less,
I
there's
want
not
my
enough room.
ashes shot into space.
That's trendy, and you know what? A little trite. You don't want that, do you?
No, not really. I genuinely don't care. I don't want them to.
Let's put it in the Mississippi River where it comes up to Savannah.
Can we not just donate me to science? I know if there's any part. I
Have
am
you
an
had
organ
any
donor.
offers? Have you had any offers yet?
Not right this moment.
Maybe like the Jerry Lewis, the nutty professor. I was wondering if we could have your body.
If there's any parts of me that can be used for anything, by
Yeah.
all means, like pilferage. Well,
What do you think
wait,
would
pillage?
be
Pillage.
pillage and pilfer?
Oh, I was somewhere in between the two.
You were there, pilferage. What would you think science would want of your body?
Obviously, my brain. No, too many head injuries.
It's flawed.
Truthfully, my skin. I know that would be good for. I have really great skin.
I've been told the same.
I
That's
know that
why,
it could
yeah.
be used for burn victims.
Or purses. I'd like to donate
They
my
couldn't
body.
figure out how to carry me everywhere, so they just made a purse out of me. She can be with me all the time.
What's the name of the expensive purses? I can't think of them offhand. Carrie bought one once, and I was totally blown away by how much they are. They have an outlet at the outlet mall.
Okay, so no, you want an expensive purse. You're talking Hermes, you're talking Prada, you're talking $25,000 for a
Okay,
purse.
so donate your skin to Prada.
I don't think Prada wants my skin.
Well, I mean, if they don't make a purse, you know what you don't see enough anymore are coin purses. Your skin would make a lovely coin purse. Mine would make a great steamer trunk. There's plenty of it. And also, I want to tell the people at the crematorium, when they're making my cremains, allow some time, because I think I'm going to burn a while. Because not only I'm a tall fella, a wide fella, and I've got enough body fat that, I mean, it's not going to be like burning a body. It's going to be like burning an oil lamp. I'm going to stay lit for 8 days and nights. It'll be like Hanukkah. It'll be Robica.
I have no idea how it works. I just hope that it makes like a really good.
Well,
sound.
this is really gross. I did also say in my will, take off the ring. I don't want them to get the ring. My wedding ring. Carrie gets that.
Okay.
And she'll pawn it so fast. Her shirt won't even touch her back. But
she would have taken it off your cold dead corpse.
she tried last night. She was hoping I was dead. I said, give me back my finger. But this is really disgusting. When my stepfather, my mom's husband passed, he
Yes.
wanted the cheapest cremation possible. So we shopped it. And we found a crematorium in Chantilly, Virginia. Now, if you're not local to the Washington, D.C. area, Chantilly is like paradise. It is beautiful. I am lying. Do you remember when we talked about the Dulles Expo Center where we sell our horns? That's in Chantilly. Thank you. So it's sort of like a created community. Chantilly is really the intersection of Route 28 and Route 50. That's all it is. And it's become like an area. But back in a like business district or an industrial district, there's the crematorium. And I had to pick up Dave's ashes because the hospital takes care of getting them there. And I went in, and first of all, it was hot in there, which when I started thinking about
whoa. What was hot?
The air, like just the temperature.
There's fire.
Yeah, but I know you keep it separate from me. It's not like you're burning a candle. You're burning bodies. And then we're sitting down waiting for. I told you it was disgusting.
How did we get here?
Well, because you don't like to share. So we go in and sit down. It's Julia, my daughter, who has always been very mature for her age, and for some reason said she was cool to go pick up the ashes with me. I said, great. So we go in there, and while we're sitting and waiting to fill out the paperwork, I hear, and I said, is that the oven? And they said, yes, we do all of our cremating on site. Like I was horrified and they were proud. So we're sitting there and hearing, and they bring out the paperwork, but you know what follows the paperwork? A pamphlet. They said, would you like to preserve any of Dave's ashes in any of these items? And they opened the pamphlet.
You can do
pocket
trees,
knives, Christmas
diamonds.
ornaments. Oh, no, this is nothing like that. This looks more like something you get for working 5 years at IBM. It's like a pendant, a small pocket knife. And I said no. So I also said in my will, please do not let anyone upsell you with anything because they want to get you. Because cremation is cheap as a rule. The money's in the pocket knives.
My dad, we just didn't, because we knew we were just going to disperse the ashes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He just came, it was like a plastic bag inside of a cardboard tube.
Oh, Bruce was in a black plastic box. My Uncle Bruce. Now, I've had to scatter ashes before. That's a drag. I don't like that.
We scattered the ashes for my dad, and God bless my brother. He takes the tube, and he's like on the edge of the pier, and everything, and it won't come out. So my brother takes this tube and is like bonk, bonk, bonk the tube with it, trying to get all the ashes out of the top.
I would so have done the same thing,
And
but I would have talked into the tube.
I don't know that anyone else noticed or like thought about it or anything. They will now.
Yeah.
But that's all I can think of really was the bonk, bonk, bonk.
Did you save the tube?
Somebody's got it, maybe. I'm sure.
Dave is in a lunchbox. It's because he was a professional guitarist. So I believe it is a Stratocaster lunchbox.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Bruce, we put and it was really unfortunate because right before we put him in the Atlantic in Miami, and right before we got to the beach, and right before we opened him to dump, which is illegal, by the way, you're supposed to go like a certain number of miles offshore, but a German family came to the beach and sat just down water from us. So we tried to wait until they were out of the water until we opened Bruce. And also, it was a sealed plastic bag in the box, and I had to use a key to open it because we didn't have tools.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how my brother got the actual bag open.
I remember rinsing the key in the Atlantic, so there was no Bruce on the key.
Come on, Bruce, we're going for a ride.
Yeah. But, which brings me to my next question. You're going on a road trip?
Can we start the show?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do your thought?
Oh.
I mean, you said you had one.
I'm ready.
All right, then 3, 2. Perfect.
Hey there, this is Katie with a very hateful thought of the day. I hate tags in underwear. In the year of our Lord 2025, why must manufacturers put tags in your underoos? Forget sensory overload, that's a personal affront. If they insist on printing the size and care, then print it on the fabric. Because let me assure you, nobody wants a CVS receipt down their ass crack. Actually, if we're really being honest, all tags are offensive. I hate clothing tags. And I probably hate you too.
Wow.
O'Mara, radio entertainment.
Sure was hateful. But I don't think you hate the people. Not unless they're good at sharing.
Cake and cookies. Rob and Katie. It's the Rob and Katie Show.
But you don't have to share this moment. This is your golden moment. This is all you. All you. Are you taking a trip?
I'm going on a road trip.
Now, you told me this with some hesitation. You should be excited that you're hitting the road.
I am excited. I'm very excited. My hesitation was I'll be gone all next week, so we'll have to figure out a different recording day.
Okay, well, we can do that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's easy enough. What day works for you? Or will you record on the road?
I could take my stuff with me. The thing is, I'll
Yeah.
be at my mom's house,
And?
and I feel like I would feel self-conscious.
Really? Well, you could shut the door.
Yeah.
What if you did it from the family truckster?
From the what?
You could...
Oh.
Hold on. Better. I soloed myself out. Sorry about that.
I couldn't figure out what happened.
I hate all electronics, right? I don't even want to get into it.
You're
I don't
having a
even-
rough go of it, so we're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even going to talk about it.
Thank you. So now your mom, of course, we know, lives in Wisconsin, and she's a
No.
dairy farmer.
Absolutely not.
No, she's a teacher.
Yes. Well, she's
And-
retired, but yes.
Do you ever really retire from teaching?
No. She's the worst retired person ever. She keeps getting new jobs.
She's not good at being retired.
Terrible.
So, but she's in Ohio, right? Or West
She's
Virginia?
in West Virginia.
West Virginia, where my son goes to school.
Yes.
What town? Is it too specific to name the town?
It's
I don't think.
nobody's-
I don't think
Nobody
anyone's gonna
knows
box
it.
up.
My
Yeah, what is it?
parents, they're in Culloden, West Virginia, which is close to Hurricane, which is spelled hurricane but pronounced hurricane.
Isn't
It's
Culloden?
about half. It's
Cul-
about
Cul-
halfway between Huntington and Charleston.
Okay, is it Culloden? What is it?
Culloden.
Culloden is actually a sister city with Chantilly, Virginia.
No.
It's true. It is true. But you're
stop.
going up to see her. Is Flatfoot going with you?
No. So here's what's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so my brother and his family, they live in Florida, not too far from Orlando. So
Okay.
my sister-in-law and one of my nieces are going up for their spring break.
Do you think any of your family will ever get a job with Disney? With their proximity?
My oldest niece is in the Disney college program. Well, actually, she graduates. She's in the Disney Masters program, and she works at Epcot.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
lives like in dormitories, and they pay for her school. She's getting her master's in criminal justice.
So she's going to be like, what, a Disney cop?
Yes, she's
Yeah.
gonna whoop whoop. Disney cop, Disney cop.
We cannot embroider that on your mouse ears, sir. You're going to have to come with me.
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not entirely sure what her. I should ask her what her
You
goals
should.
are, because it could have changed. She just started the master's program this year.
Oh, so she's going to be like a super tough cop, a super tough Disney cop. Now, does she have to do her police work in a mascot outfit?
She does wear like a uniform. Pretty much everyone at Disney wears a uniform of some
Is her
sort.
uniform, does it say like Officer Bell? And
She's not a Disney cop. She.
I see how this Disney criminal escaped. It was by Rapunzel's hair. Bring in Officer Rapunzel.
Oh, I bet they have like cop ears.
Do they just
What?
look like human ears?
No. Like the Mickey Mouse ears, the little
Right,
hats with the
right.
ears. They come in all like you can get them in all different kinds of themes.
I just got mine standard.
I would hope that Man, I feel like the Disney cops need ears with like a little the light that spins around on top.
No, I don't know what you would put on a Disney. Maybe 2 badges instead of mouse ears?
Could be.
But you're thinking almost like a miner's headlight?
Yeah. Right in between the ears.
It's a very well-lit park.
And
So-
of course there's sparkles.
Well, of course.
Obviously.
I'm not a moron, I knew that.
So my sister-in-law and my niece are driving up here. They're going to stay the night, and then we are going to drive the rest of the way up to my mom's house.
Okay.
And yeah, we're heading to the WV.
Well, that should be fun. And we'll figure out, we'll get a show done. Or I'll just monologue next week.
I'll be No.
I know. That was a funny reaction.
Remember that time we lost all of our listeners?
Yeah, it was when Rob monologued. He talked more about custom funerals.
So we've got our West Virginia road trip. We're heading up for the week, and it's good. I haven't been up since my dad's memorial last summer.
Well, you know what? The weather is starting to turn up here.
I
So
think it's gonna. I'm so
It's going to be
excited.
pretty, I think. So
Yeah.
we're happy to have you up here. So you don't like to share. You do like to go to West Virginia, and Dan will predecease you. This is what we've determined.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much longer are you going to be one of those couples that like when one of them dies, the other one dies like in days because they're so intertwined?
No. I have a plan. So me
Funky
and my
ass sedan laid down, bald money in hand.
So me, my friend Danny, and Lolo, we have a plan about tiny houses. We're gonna move into tiny houses together.
How
And,
tiny?
Like 1 bedroom. But obviously, like one of us will have a hot tub. One of us will have like the
Obviously.
front porch, and then one of us will have like the great kitchen. That'll probably be Danny because she's savvier than we are.
Are you limited to one thing? Because it would be great if yours was the house that had the roller coaster.
Oh, no. And so Lolo's youngest, Lottie Mo, we already have his future planned out. We're going to send him to just about every trade school possible
So he can fix
So-
everything.
so he can fix everything. He's going to get a CDL so he can drive us around like, the queens we are.
Yeah.
Then
Will you have
also,
a custom automobile, like with
he's-
a especially high chair in the back so you can see?
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
I
Okay,
do
I'll
too.
just add that to the list.
Yeah.
He's going to be a trained chef and sommelier, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll probably start him out early at bartending school.
Like at age 12?
Well, that's pretty soon. So
Oh, okay.
he is
well,
12. He is
maybe
12. so-
maybe you've dropped the ball already. I should have gotten involved in this sooner. So this
but-
plan has no use for me.
Oh, why no?
Oh. Well, I'll probably predecease you anyway.
Probably.
And if you want to ask the
My
same
God,
question,
Rob, could you shock them all and live longer than all of us?
I don't want to, but it would be great.
I don't either. Take me now.
It would be
Lord,
great.
just come on and get me.
But those couples that die close to each other, if
Mm-hmm.
I were to die, Carrie's strength would redouble. It would be, I think it was red kryptonite that made Superman really strong. It would be red kryptonite for her.
I feel like somebody would, if I died before Dan, somebody would take him in.
Well, I would. I mean, I'd love to have him around, but he's
Yeah,
down
no,
there.
I feel like there might be arguments over who gets to keep Dan.
Oh, I'm not going to argue for it. I was just doing a gesture. It's not that important to me.
Oh, so you don't really mean it?
Well, I mean, I was going to be cordial in your memory and let him stay up here, but who's going to argue for him? I mean, I've met him. He's great, but family?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Danny would try to lay claim to him because he's fun. He loves the
is.
kids. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Although the jobs may not get done quite the way she wants them, he is not trainable. He'll do what you want if you give him a list.
Go back to trainable. I think that's what we need to stick with. Dan is excellent because he's trainable.
I
Bless
love
his
him
heart.
so much.
I do too. And you know what? That's why it's so sad he's passed away.
He-
He's not dead. Nobody
It's
died.
not. Nobody died.
Nobody died at all.
Oh, but no, I see why you would. I don't know how. I don't know what I would do.
I think Carrie would love to have him.
I think I just immediately have to spring into the tiny house plan.
What happens if you and I are flying on an airplane to like a cake and cookies appearance, like at Branson, okay? We're at the Andy Williams Moon River Theater in Branson, and the plane sadly crashes because of deregulation. I'm not blaming politics. I'm just saying it happens.
I am.
Okay, it's our private cake and cookies plane, just like in The Righteous Gemstones. Obviously, I'm counting on the show growing this year,
yes.
particularly when we buy the plane. So it crashes and we die, right?
Bing bong. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, Grandma. Yes?
Don't forget to like, download, and subscribe. It truly helps us go. Dang it, Rob. I wrote this up for us.
Not me. It's you.
No, it was me. Okay.
Yeah.
It truly helps us keep going. We're on
Sure.
all your favorite platforms, including YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Happy listening.
Oh, it will be happy, too.
Wasn't that great?
That was really good. I'm glad you wrote it down. Here's Katie with another liner. Grandma.
Ding dong.
So when we go and it's first of all, there's a suitable amount of mourning when we pass because you especially are loved, and they'll take care of our funeral arrangements. But then, how about this?
Mm-hmm.
Dan and Carrie get together.
I don't think Carrie would suffer Dan.
Would Dan suffer Carrie?
I think Dan would just be happy anybody took him in. But I don't think Dan is probably as attentive as what she's used to.
I think that he's probably better in all ways than I am. So, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do anything either, you know. I talk loud. We might be the same person.
I feel pretty confident that they would have a blast.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you and Carrie were
Making fun of us posthumously.
oh, that would happen.
I know.
A lot
I know.
of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang it.
And if for some reason you and Carrie were lost in a cake and cookies plane accident, Dan and I could become not like lovers, but like the
You're
odd
the new
couple.
odd couple. You're the new
Exactly.
odd couple.
Mhm. So that's the plan.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I that would be I just feel like I think Dan would go right over the edge of
Being with me.
no.
People have done it. Carrie's been with me for a long time. It can be done.
No. Let's say I donk off. Okay.
Okay. Plane wreck
You
or
know-
a different way?
Plane crash.
Oh, of course, the cake and cookies
Sure.
plane.
I think Dan would drink himself to death. I don't see Dan being very inspirational.
But isn't he kind of doing that already?
No, he doesn't drink anywhere near what he used to.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I
No,
will
yeah.
personally recommend don't drink as much as anybody used to. It'll
Oh,
get you. It'll get
Good.
you.
Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. It'll catch up. But
So-
thankfully, the liver's regenerative.
Oh, but you know what? If you and Dan die at the same time,
Yeah. Oh man.
you're not going to want to share a funeral.
Absolutely not.
Do you want yours to be first or second?
Well, first of all, I don't want a funeral. I want a party.
Okay, whatever your service is, you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to share it.
Absolutely not.
What do you say we do Dan's first, get it out of the way?
Yeah.
And then and do you want it like in a ballroom or like at Jimmy's? Where would you want it to be?
Oh my God, do it at Jimmy's.
Yeah, he did a good job for my Uncle Pete.
And some people, I don't know that I warrant a pilgrimage or anything like that, but
I don't know.
I would hope I have friends all over. I would hope that people could
Show
come
off.
together.
I don't have any friends.
That's bull honky. I'm right here. Oh, but
Oh,
I'm
oh,
dead, so I
yeah.
can't help you.
That's right. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
What friend would come the farthest?
Let's see. I feel like Chris and Elena
Okay.
in California would probably
Yeah.
come. I have a lot of people in California that I think would come. And
I
then
know a guy in
also-
England. Does
Oh,
that
well,
count?
I have friends in Germany. And I think Kristen and Mike, if it worked out that they could do it, I feel pretty sure that they would come to my
Do you think
my
they would
funeral
do
party.
a hateful eulogy because they're German?
They're not German. They're American.
Sure, exactly what they want you to think.
He's in the Air Force.
Air Force. You ever see the uniform?
Yes, actually.
You can buy them anywhere.
Okay. Now, my question is, do I get 2 parties? One in Savannah and one up there. Oh, do I get 3? Do I
Yeah.
get one back home too? I mean,
as
I'm road
many as you
tripping up
want.
there.
As
Okay.
many as you want.
All right. That's
well,
what I want. I just want parties everywhere.
You have to trust someone good with the ashes, though.
I don't want ashes. I told you.
No, but the ashes have to be at
disappear.
the visit. They have to be at the thing. Because, I mean, that's sort of the purpose, right? You're not going to... So if you're not going to do the ashes thing, then we could have 1,000 concurrent parties in 1,000 different locations.
And that's how Dan joins me in heaven.
Well, I'm glad we got this worked out.
He partied himself to death.
He did. Guess who's a coming? It's a Dan.
Hang on, Katie. I'm on my way.
All right. We must take a break because I'm doing a great job of managing the clock as always.
No, you're not.
I know. This portion of the Cake and Cookies Show is brought to you by Klondike Ice Cream Bars. And we'll be back with more cake and cookies after this.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? For that chocolatey coated ice cream loaded, big and thick, no room for a stick. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Jeff, don't eat in the car, huh? It's a rental.
That sort of left me cold. Didn't care for it much.
Brain
oh, yeah.
freeze?
Could be. Klondike Bar. Good. Yes. Back soon. Bye.
Cake and Cookies, the podcast that has nothing to do with cake or cookies. It's Rob and Katie.
It does have things to do with us, though, even if it doesn't have to do with cake and cookies. I can see it on our monochromatic background. I see both cake and cookies.
I
But it
believe
really-
a couple of cookies were added, but they're
Yes.
so small. Everything
Well-
else looks like cupcakes and cakes and
But
muffins.
there's so many cookies. Muffin can be Dan, I guess.
Instead of Muffin Man, it's Muffin Dan.
Muffin Dan. Have you seen the Muffin Dan?
Have you seen the Muffin Dan?
Well, here's where I'm
Have
getting at.
you?
In a very down on Drury Lane? Of course. He's my bruh.
Oh, Lord.
The Muffin Man is my bruh. Bruh, do you make muffins?
Oh, my God. I just remembered something that happened to Dan, and I think you, God bless him,
What?
I think you might enjoy what happened to him.
All right, do you want to go with the New York Times or do you want to go with Dan's issue? You want to talk about Muffin
it'll
Dan?
be really quick. So he goes to Orange Theory.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a gym, and it's like circuit training.
Do they serve things that are made with oranges?
No, you wear like a heart monitor, and you don't want to go into the red, but you don't want to be in the yellow. You want to you want to keep your heart rate at this certain amount for the entire
It's called your
duration.
target heart rate.
I don't do things like that.
Well, I've heard about it. You don't think, I mean, look at me. You don't think I actually do that, do you? Come on.
But next
come on.
to the Orange Theory, like a cold plunge and sauna place opened up, and Dan loves that stuff.
Now, are they the same place or is it two competing places? Come in and be hot. Come in and be cold. Come in hot, cold, hot, cold.
No, and some people like to do them do the sauna
Concurrently, yeah.
and then do
No.
I don't like any of it.
I've
Of
done
course
a
I
cold
don't.
plunge in nature. Like it was at the Frenchman's Bay in Maine. I think it was 52 degrees or
You
something.
did a cold plunge in Maine?
It was cold. It was super cold. And I've done saunas, but never to extend my life or anything. So he's at the orange zone.
He's always like, I'm going to go sweat out my toxins. You know,
And he's off to the orange bowl.
Got to pep in my step. I'm a brand new man.
Does he say it really loud?
No. But he...
I'm leaving
so
the
he
office
goes-
to get rid of my toxins.
He has these like notebooks. They're probably like 4x... No, they're... I don't know. Like 6x5 kind of
Like
just
his feet.
Moleskine notebooks. Yes, just like his feet.
Yeah,
Flipper
you
like.
can wear them. Yeah, you can
So-
put them on.
So he does like work stuff, and he's been working on some presentations and everything. So he takes his stuff, his little notebook and his pen, and goes to to the sauna. And the lady, she was a young woman. She said, "Oh, are you going to do some journaling?" And Dan,
You bet I am.
right? Dan, and so introspective. He he was like, so I can't take my notebook back in anymore. And I was like, why not? And he goes, they think I'm journaling. And I'm like, I don't. So
Yeah, I mean that's probably a pretty.
that's
high
what
praise.
bothers you about going to the sauna.
Yeah, it's probably too hot to bring your phone in there. You can't like do the notes app because if
Yeah,
you take
I
your
mean-
phone to the pool, sometimes it gets too hot and it shuts down because of the sunlight.
Yeah,
You
I
ever
mean, he
had
can
that
take
happen?
he can take his phone in there, I guess. But he does everything on like this. He likes to write stuff out on paper, which I get.
What-
I mean, look at me
what
and my note
if-
cards.
What it's called, the Orange Zone.
Orange Theory.
Okay, what if he goes to Orange Theory and phones ahead and they put a whiteboard in his sauna, and that way he can stand up and
He can
write
just
all
take
the
his
stuff.
whiteboard with him. He's got
Oh,
one.
he has
right
one,
here.
but I want a big one. I mean, I'm talking like a 4x6 foot one, so he can write all his orange thoughts
You
up there.
Internet issues.
A little bit, but you're back. You're
Okay.
back, baby.
I am
you're
okay.
back.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, we
so-
get him a nice big whiteboard, and just don't put a whiteboard in the bathroom because it could be a double entendre that confuses a lot of people.
What? Oh,
Well, I mean,
gross! It's a.
That is gross. That's why you don't want to
No,
do
no.
it. All right. I'll
So,
tell you what's not gross,
anyways.
but what's wholesome is the New York Times and their daily. They provide contests of sorts
Or
on a daily
puzzles.
basis. Yes,
Got
puzzles.
to do my puzzles. I do puzzles every day.
And it helps keep your brain sharp.
I wouldn't go crazy, but yes, I do.
Well, think
all
where
of
you'd
the-
be. Think where you'd be without Wordle. You'd be
Okay.
out on the streets screaming.
Now I know you Wordle.
I do sometimes. I don't as much as I used to.
Okay.
I have
Every
the
day,
same
or
start word every day, though. Every time I do it.
Would you reveal your start word?
Yep. Schmool. It's not a real
That's
word.
too
I
many
use-
letters.
I use not how I spell it.
I
Now,
don't
the
use
word-
vowels.
The word I always use is smart. And if
Okay.
that doesn't take, I use, even though it's double E's, I use elope.
Huh. I don't enjoy your rationalization.
Okay. Well,
Even though I don't
didn't
know what
put-
it is.
Didn't put it out there for you to enjoy it. It's simply a fact.
I use the word tries
That's a good
because
one.
I get RSTINE.
and two vowels. Yeah.
If I don't get any hits with that, then I hit second. I will hit laugh
LAUF. Those are both great.
because then I've used all of the vowels except for Y.
Well, why? That's just a sometimes vowel. Like
Right.
um,
Sometimes.
Yeah. Like in the word, what would
Okay.
be a good, not triad, that's an I.
You
Where's
know,
a
the
wa-
last time I was home, my mom wouldn't tell me what her start word was.
It's because she doesn't play. She
No, she
wants you to
does
think
every
she
day.
plays.
And I was like, what? She was almost offended that I asked her. Like, I was like, it's
What if
not
it's-
a password. It's
Her,
just
her start word might be Katie.
it was aliens.
Well, it wouldn't be plural. It'd just be alien.
Alien.
Yeah. They don't pluralize things in Wordle.
But she also said she sometimes changes it, which I find absolutely wild.
My mom does a different one all the time. Makes me nuts.
That's crazy.
So you're wordling. Now I actually am part of a, we started a
What?
chain for people in my family to keep touch with their contests, and I call it the Quiz Kids. And no one questioned the fact.
Are you
that
serious?
we call the text chain the Quiz Kids. And it's me and my mom and my sister-in-law and my two kids, and used to be my wife, but she said it was too stressful, and my Uncle
Oh
Phil.
no.
Yeah, I said it's really, you know what, Carrie? It's really not that stressful. But anyway, that's what we do with the Quiz Kids. And every
Okay.
day if you do it, and my Aunt Mickey who will send her Wordle results out prior to 6 a.m. every day. To a
No,
point
she
that if I
doesn't
woke
spoil
up,
it for anyone, does she?
No. When you share, it just shows your distribution of green and yellow blocks. There's no letters.
Oh, so how long it took you?
Yeah.
Or how many
so
tries it took you?
If I were to
Okay.
wake up and I hadn't gotten a Wordle notification from Mickey before 6 a.m.,
Wellness check.
I would assume that we need to head down to North Carolina and check on her.
She has
Because
expired.
it always happens. And I think my Uncle Philip cheats, but that's just the way he is. I don't know
How
how
do
he
you
does it.
cheat?
Oh, if there's a way, Philip would know how to do it.
So I do all of the puzzles on the New York Times app. Do you ever do the mini?
The mini is great, and I'm pretty
Okay,
fast
so
at it.
I
you
love
know where
the
I'm
mini.
slow on the mini is because I'm a bad typist. That's what'll slow me down.
These dang thumbs, they're just so
Tell
big.
me about it. I'm all thumbs. And I've done
So-
connections.
Well, my thing about the mini, I always do the mini second. I go Wordle,
Okay. Yeah.
mini,
Yeah.
connections,
Yeah.
spelling bee. We're going to come back to that one.
Okay.
Spelling bee, letterbox, strands, and tiles.
Do you have
that's my
so much time on your hands?
I do this when I'm drinking my cup of coffee in the morning.
Okay. So instead of like reading the paper,
Yeah.
I don't know strands. I don't know that.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. Trust
Oh.
me.
Well,
But
I've always have.
I've been thinking about changing up my order. So if I do the mini very last, then
Yeah.
I get that little victory song at the end
Yeah.
instead of second. But I like doo 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 doo.
You see, I turn my volume down so I don't hear that. I should
I
hear
live
that, huh?
for that part of my morning.
Is it kind
That
of like
little
the,
song.
Is it like the song they play at the end of when your dishwasher's done? Dee
Yeah.
dee 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 dee, and you go, oh, I get to empty the dishwasher now. But you wait because it's hot. Yeah, so I can understand that
Yeah,
being a value
absolutely.
thing. Yeah,
So like I'm thinking I'm going to start putting the mini at the end.
something to look forward to.
Now here's the thing. I hate spelling bee. I don't
Then
understand
why do you
it.
play it? Why do you play it then?
They say insanity,
I know.
but I always finish it like the whole point is to use all of the letters in one word or to make as many words. You know what? I'm telling you what the point is, and I actually don't know. I know you're supposed to try to make as many words as possible, but
And they
like,
connect, right? And it's like a bee, like a honeycomb full of letters.
yeah. And then,
Yeah.
but if I can get the word that encompasses all of the letters, it doesn't necessarily mean that it ends right then. Sometimes you keep going.
Well, it's like
Sometimes-
the old game where you try to find as many words as you can, and you know, long ones are good, but don't forget at and me and the short words. You need the
No, it has to have a certain amount. You have to have 4 letters.
4?
At
That's
least
too
4
many.
letters.
No. You can't use the word yet.
No. You could use
What?
Yeti.
How about cat?
See, like Yeti. Like
I understand what you meant.
I had to borrow a mug from Dan, and it looks like
It's pretty hard to tell it's Dan's mug because it's, for one thing, it's like 72 ounces and it has Bigfoot on it.
Well,
Did
and
he
it looks like a
commission
tree.
that?
You
Yeah,
see
it
that?
does look like a
Looks-
tree. Yeah,
looks like
like
a
a
tree.
solid wood mug. He didn't commission that, did he? Or did you just
No.
find it in a Bigfoot gift store? Or
I'm sure somebody bought it for him. Not me.
hey, you know what?
I dare
Bigfoot
not
has
know.
7 letters.
I don't
could
buy him
use that.
shoes. I don't buy him mugs.
Yeah. Do you think that mug would fit on his foot?
No,
You'd have to roll his foot up a little bit, like
absolutely not.
when you bend pizza to eat it.
But yeah, so spelling. But I don't even like. How does that even work? I don't know.
I think
now.
I think I've played it once, and I think you just find as many words as you can. And is there a timer? I don't remember.
There's no timer. But
Hmm.
sometimes, like if I got 6 words on one day and then I got 6 words the next day, it doesn't. So 6 words, it might just make me stop. But sometimes 6 words, you just keep going, and then you've got like 15 words.
Are you sure
I
there's no
don't
time?
know how you win.
Maybe you don't win.
Or maybe there's a finite amount of words and you have
Are
to
you
get them
supposed
all.
when you're
but
done?
it always stops before I'm done.
When
Like,
you
I'm like,
are
I
you
have
allowed
way
to,
more words.
Are you allowed to share your results when it's done?
Probably.
Because I could invite you to
I
be
dare
part of
not
the
share.
quiz.
I'm too embarrassed. I don't even know how to play it. What am I doing?
Well,
Every
I think
morning I've been
you're up-
encountering this, and every morning it gets a little bit worse.
You're up against everybody that's playing it, and they're getting the same problems, I'm sure. You need to get in a text chain and compare your scores with others.
I wouldn't even know who. I don't. Who even plays the spelling bee?
Lolo does, and I'm trying to think of names of your friends. And there's a Danny. And she plays it.
Sarah, Lauren, Dan.
Yeah. Dan himself probably plays it.
No. He's not a puzzle person. In fact, so I love games and puzzles. I do, and he does not. And I do enjoy playing wordscapes with him.
Okay.
Or excuse me, words with friends with him.
Yes.
But
That's
I
just
always wind up
Scrabble.
having to nudge him. I have to nudge him like 4
Yeah.
days into it.
Yeah. Do you ever play? I mean, I guess he wouldn't, but do you ever like sit down and play an actual board game from an actual box?
If
Or are
we
you
have
all
friends over,
online?
yeah. Just the two of us, no, very rarely. He doesn't enjoy that. But sometimes I force the issue and I'm like, let's play some cards.
Okay. What card games?
I mean,
Old Maid,
right, fish.
Slapjack.
Probably like rummy, mash.
Yeah.
Rummy.
That's a good one.
Poker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
52
we-
pickup. That was always such a dick
No,
move to
because
do
that means I would have to do it. Dang it.
I have so many decks of cards all around my house. I play solitaire, but I play
yeah, I
actual
always-
solitaire.
I'm into. I always keep a deck of cards in my purse. If I have a shoulder
have a-
bag, I guarantee you
I-
there's some sort of game in there.
I have a
I
weird
love
compulsion with playing cards. Let me just open my desk for a second.
Okay.
And let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah. Here's 5 unopened decks of cards.
5 decks of cards.
Oh, here's
I
3
bet-
more.
Were you ever into Magic?
Yeah, well, not really, because I'm not very
Like-
good at it. Here's another one.
Not like Magic the Gathering, but like with a top hat and a cane.
Well, I would always wear a top hat and a cane, of course. But it has very little to do with. Oh, and here's another pack. These are B. That's very nice. And perhaps the most collectible of them all, 4 unused packs of Mike O'Mara show cards that actually have my picture on them.
You have a lot of what?
Oh wait, here's another deck.
You need to start a bridge circle
This is
with all
great.
those
This-
cards.
This was my grandfather's furniture store, and we had cards made up to say Williams Talk of Furniture
Oh, those are cool.
because he
That's
gave
so
them.
cool. That
He
is the
gave
most.
them away when he had a store, but they're all gone.
So how long ago were those cards from? Those it looks like maybe 60s. The design is fantastic.
I have a few original ones, like not a whole deck, but we had to have a new batch made. There's 4 or 5 decks upstairs, and they're on my shelf behind me. There's 7. more
Holy
decks.
crap! That's a lot of cards.
Carrie put up with it on our 10th anniversary cruise. They had a close-up card magician, and I love I love cards. And she said, "Guess who's at the bar?" I said, "Who?" He said, "The close-up card magician." I said, "No, he's not." And I looked over, and he was.
Oh, were you
And
so
I went-
excited?
and I drank back then, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I saw your show," which is
Hey.
really not a great opening line when you're on a cruise ship. Everyone sees your show,
Hey,
but he did some close-up magic for me, and Carrie said, "You look like the happiest 3-year-old in the world." So
I
yeah,
have
understand.
no doubt.
So you got to figure
No
out how to
doubt.
win spelling bee. Have you Googled it? How you win?
Yeah.
And
I only Googled it once and I got frustrated and I didn't even read it. All of those articles.
so you
have
don't
to-
know how to how to
No.
play spelling bee. You don't know how to use Google. What do you
Well-
do all day?
It was like a Mashable article and you have to scroll so far to get through the ads and it's a whole thing. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I care this much. But as time has gone on, which let me be clear, this has gone on for like 2 years now.
You really are insane.
I know.
You really are. You've been doing this for 2 years with no payoff?
No
I
payoff.
wouldn't even do that, and I'm
None
broken.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I'm broken. I know.
You're broken. Yeah.
know.
Stick to the mini and the song. Or
Da-da-da-da.
record the song and just play the song occasionally throughout the day.
But let's be clear. I do not
Yes, let's
F
be.
with. I don't F with Sudoku.
No, I can't do that.
Numbers. I got nothing for it.
No, I'm no letters.
Nope.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. I do.
Words, baby.
Strands is probably. Strands is probably my favorite.
I don't understand.
So Strands looks like one of those word finder puzzles where it's all the letters. And you have to find words in it. Now it gives you like a clue at the top.
Oh, I've
So-
played that. I hate it.
Oh,
I don't like it. Yeah. I like something that's more finite. Maybe that's why I don't like spelling bee. I like
how
it
do
when
you
you
think
solve
that's
it.
not finite? Like you have to find the very specific words and a panagram.
Yeah, not if you don't finish. Then it's fine.
Oh golly.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like Wordle. I think Wordle is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
The mini I like. I will sometimes do connections, especially
I
if
do
my son
Connections.
complains about it. But they
Connections
cheat.
is third on my list. Yeah.
Connections is organized and published by cheaters because they'll do 3 words that are really close and then you realize they don't belong together and they're just screwing with me. So I'm not a
I
big
think
fan.
that's kind
of
of
the
the
New York
point. I
Times
hated
people.
it at first, but it has grown on me because my hatred for spelling bee has become so intense.
I
White hot
understand.
fire. I hate that game.
Flames.
Flames.
Yeah, Maddie Masiello, who used to work with us at the Podville, she works at the New York Times now, and I asked her if she could give me the answers. She said no. Apparently the New York Times, the old gray lady, is a big deal because it's not just the games. They do news.
It's shocking.
There's podcasts that they do.
Society pages.
There's a whole building.
Recipes. Oh, they've got good recipes.
The op-ed, and then they've got the big black and white newsroom, heavy with cigarette smoke and typewriters. It looks just like the 1940s, and they still
Nobody
won't give me
smokes
the answer.
there anymore.
But
I
they
bet
use
they keep that-
typewriters.
That department's under lock and key. You know it is.
The smoking department?
No, the puzzle department, the games department.
I think they get mental patients to think up the games.
Well,
Because especially connections, they sometimes really don't make sense.
I got look. You've heard my
I'm almost
frustrations
out
with
of water.
spelling
I'm
bee.
I was trying to hide it, but
Oh well,
almost
Robert
out. Catherine
felt weird.
did. Yeah. Make that a game. So what are you going to do
We're
to
gonna have
fix
to
it?
journal about that at the sauna.
Yeah, in the sauna. How are you going to fix it? How are you going to fix the New York Times?
I don't know, but I am considering putting the mini at the end of my games parlay to just so I get a good little victory dance.
Why
at
don't
the
you get
end.
another game? I play a game that's called Small Town, and it's you're solving murders, but it's really I'm told it's like Candy Crush, so you're not
It's
really
gonna-
solving murders.
Oh wait, you're serious?
Yeah, I play this game.
This is a real game?
Yeah.
I thought you were making fun of Jessica Fletcher and Cabot.
No. I'm in this game.
It always
I'm
comes back to MS Dub.
By the way, Matlock this week, sensational. Matlock is so good. I'm just telling you. That's all. But
Dan
Small
and I
Town.
are waiting to get a bunch
what?
of episodes banked up for the Matlock so that we can just watch the whole thing.
There's 9 now. You can do that. That's enough to start.
They finished it.
No, there's just 9. Do you have the Paramount streaming service?
Oh no, we watched the first 9. There's 9.
Oh,
There's 9
No,
more in the second half of the season. So
no, there's just 9 episodes total now. So you're caught up.
Oh, then I'm caught up.
Yeah, still pretty
No,
good though.
it started back up. You're wrong, Rob.
I think I watched episode 9 last night. Oh, you're going to
Hold
get on
on.
the internet. And while you do
Oh
that,
heck yeah! For
I'm going to
this,
explain what Small Town is. In Small Town, I portray a young red-headed detective named Nora. And she has got sort of a crush going on with the sheriff. And there's a dog. and there's the lady that runs the bed and breakfast, and you go all around the town to solve murders. But to get a clue, you have to do like a Candy Crush puzzle. But I like it. It's an agreeable time filler. But again, I can't win it. It's like Spelling Bee. There's no winners.
So there are currently 14 episodes of the new Matlock out, and there will
Okay.
be 18 to round out the entire first season.
Do you wish we were still in the day that a season of shows meant 39 and not 18?
Can you? I feel like we're lucky getting 18.
No. We
I mean-
deserve 18. We deserve more than 18.
But I mean, if you watch a show on Netflix or anything, they're 8 or 10 at the most.
Well, they run out of ideas and they get tired.
No, I
'Cause
mean,
do you know that
for,
Netflix
like,
shoot
for a show. For a season.
Netflix, all their shows are all shot in one day, the entire series. And so when they're done, they're very tired. And that's why they can't continue them more than 8. Because,
I don't
that's
think
8
that's
hours
accurate.
out of 24. But that doesn't include like traveling and setup. So they use all 24 hours to make the 8 episodes. And then they take 3 years off. That's how Netflix works. And then they raise the price.
I'm glad you wizened me up to this scheme.
Yeah, but Netflix doesn't have anything to do with Matlock. Matlock's a Paramount property, CBS. This is CBS.
Yes, of
Do
course.
you think
but
it compares at all? Does it compare at all to Miss Fletcher?
Okay, so first of all, you froze after that question, which I feel like, did something happen? Did you
No.
break
I
the
did-
time-space continuum?
I broke nothing. But is it as good as Miss Fletcher? Because I'll tell you this, it's not as good as Lieutenant Columbo. It's very good, but it's not as good.
I think it's really, really good. I think I'm going to have to wait and see how this first season wraps up before
Yeah.
I can make my full assessment. But right now, I put it on par. It's really good. It's really
about-
good.
Can you make a sweeping broad judgment and a declaration about Mr. Matlock? The man who
Well-
lives in the house.
What
Listen.
was he in?
I don't know.
He's
don't
been
know.
in
A
okay,
lot of
but
things, yeah.
he's been in like everything. Let's see.
Have
where's
you
the
seen
cast
her
here?
sister yet?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I am ahead of you somehow. I got the number wrong. Her sister is played by Julie Haggerty from the movie Airplane and also Lost in America. And she's annoying. She does not like her sister.
Interesting.
There are times when her
Stop.
phone rings.
You
No,
have to
I'll-
stop. No. I will take these headphones off. Don't you
do
ruin
that.
this for me. Don't.
All right. Enjoy your Julie Haggerty. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Do you watch, and just so I know what we can talk about in the future, do you look at White Lotus?
We have not watched the 3rd season yet.
Okay. That's a good bingeable night because not a lot happens in the first 4 episodes. How about The Righteous Gemstones?
So Dan and I have been discussing it. We watched like the first season and then
Right.
fell off of it because the second season took so long to come out, and then we forgot
Right.
about it and everything. But I think we're going to log some time back in.
Catch up before you start this new season because it's the first
Oh
episode.
no!
was
I
just
would
a-
never. Oh my God! Would you ever like just jump into a random season of a show?
No, too ADHD to do that.
Can't
I couldn't do it.
that.
I
No.
couldn't.
I'd probably start from the beginning again. Good Lord.
I was not disappointed, but thrown a little by the first episode of Gemstone. So afterwards, I watched the first episode again, the very first table setting episode, and I loved it. It's a great show. I love, you know
Yeah.
what? I love John Goodman. He doesn't make a mistake as far as I'm concerned. I think he's fantastic. And
I
he
think
was
he's-
very nice when I met him. How about that?
I think he's like one of the most talented actors. Him, Jeff Daniels. Mm-hmm. Wait, Jeff Daniels? Yes, Jeff Daniels, Jeff Bridges. I always get
Yeah,
them confused.
David Schwimmer.
Absolutely not.
You know who I get confused is the guy from Titanic, Bill Paxton, and Bill Pullman. I think they're the same guy. Don't you?
I can see one of them in my head, but I see what you're saying because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's which.
We really don't have a lot of really dazzling Hollywood stars anymore, do we? They just sort of, he's that guy. What was he in? I don't. Yeah, we don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Now I'm sounding too old. I am. I'm
yes,
sorry.
a little bit.
But we could use a little more Clark Gable. That's all I'm saying. This portion of the Cake and Cookies show, I like him. He's the king of Hollywood. Is brought to you by Wesson Oil.
When chicken tastes this good, as crispy as it should, as crisp and crunchy as chicken should be.
It's Mrs. Brady.
The chicken's got a certain Wessonality.
Wessonality. That crispy, non-greasy taste you get when
Is that
you fry
Florence
with Wesson
Henderson?
oil.
It is.
That's Wessonality. Nobody leaves less oil and more crunch in fried foods than Wesson.
The chicken's got a certain Wessonality.
Because I know all Cake and Cookies listeners love fried foods. We're back after
Donuts.
this. Yum! Phew.
Phew.
Gotta have that. If you don't, it's bad news, man. Gotta have it.
He's Cake. She's Cookies. It's Rob and Katie.
All right, I think heretofore, we need to do a new question thread every week and delete the old one because there's been some confusion with repetition with questions. We need to start clean every week, don't you think?
I put it out every week.
But wasn't
But
there...
some
they
people ask
repeated
the
the
same
question.
question. Yeah, some people ask the same
Oh,
question.
so you know what? People better get their stuff together. 'Cause
Well, what
we
that
don't
tells
wanna-
me is that they're not listening for the answer.
And this is the best part of the show.
Heck yeah. You got to listen to win.
Why aren't you listening to the best part of the show?
I always listen through the third. If I have
know.
to be here, so do you.
I know. All we want is a little commitment. That's it.
Just a little.
Here at the Cake and Cookies World Broadcast Headquarters, and we have our first question, and it comes from Gerald Tompkins, which I think is a fake name. Sounds fake to me, don't you think?
No, he's been with us for like forever.
Okay, so I'm going to call him Jerry. Jerry says, thank you for returning. Hearing Katie's voice brings some lightness into a challenging world. You must love that.
That was really nice.
I will preface this by saying, I remember, Rob, you played some ELO on the Mike O'Mara show, and I remember that I really liked it. Thank you. Back in the days, disco was not the type of music I listened to. I'm Mike's age. Some would even say that disco sucked. So, did it still suck, or did it ever suck? Your thoughts on disco music?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. To my ears, disco is defined by having a bass drum thump on every quarter note. It's very danceable. And it was not just a fluke. I mean, the Rolling Stones did a few disco records. There were disco remixes of records. And when I first bought, I remember the company put out, I think it might have been Rhino Records, but they put out collections, a 5-volume set of the best disco music. And I got a deal on the CDs. So I bought it and I came home and I was listening to them. And I must have been like maybe 20. And it occurred to me as I listened to them, screaming through headphones, people made fun of the music at the time, but it is some of the best produced, luxurious music that could be. There was a lot of effort that went into it. You got your strings, you got your horns, you got all that stuff going on. And these are really, really solid records. And I can understand them being overplayed and getting sick of it. For example, to this day, I sort of have a bad taste in my mouth about the song My Girl by The Temptations, which by all definitions is a great song, but it's played
Not
so
disco.
much. It's not disco at all. So, but I'm saying if you hear even a
Yeah.
great song soon enough or too many times, it will bother you. Now, so I like disco. Do you have a take on disco?
So yeah, two things. One,
Good.
I think with any genre, there's good and there's bad.
Okay, that's valid.
I think that's absolutely true. I love a really well produced song. So I love like a forward recording of a really great singer. And,
Yeah.
that was really before auto tune or anything like that.
No, these were actual recordings of amazing performances.
Yes,
There was
absolutely.
no way to fake strings or horns or anything. So yeah, I love disco.
So I never would have thought of ELO as being disco.
They had some disco leaning stuff.
But I totally get it.
Yeah,
Now that
yeah.
you've said it, I mean, what else would you? Yes.
Which brings me to, Bob Rivers, the king of the parody record, passed away this week. And even before I knew he had passed, he'd done like all the Twisted Christmas stuff. Top 40 DJs lived on his things.
Okay.
Bob
Not to
Rivers sung-
disparage the dead. I apologize for not knowing who that
Okay,
is. But
he's
go ahead.
like if Weird Al Yankovic was a disc jockey. So he was mornings and somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, but he put out a lot of parody records. And my mom, I have a point. I was visiting her.
No need for this show.
And she had my birthday presents, which were great. She got me 3 Elvis ornaments that are Bradford Exchange, very limited. She got a deal. She made me a cake. She got me, how about this?
Same cake as every year?
Always. Yeah, except this year it didn't say 53 because I'm older now. It just said Robb with an exclamation point, and before it an upside down exclamation point because, Spanish. And then she also got me something I'd never heard of, a titanium cutting board.
Oh, okay.
And it's supposed to be it's so cool.
Is
It doesn't stain, it wipes clean, and it's easier on your knives.
That
It's
was
made
my
of
first
titanium.
question.
Yeah.
It's easier on your knives? How? Okay.
So,
How is that?
so I don't know how it works. I'm not a scientist, but it just for those of you waiting for me to make that declaration, go ahead and collect your bets. I am not a scientist, but the best thing is she gave me a nightlight, and because she got it, she needed one.
I
and
love
she
a nightlight.
Don't steal it! Don't steal it!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That was the parody record.
I'm so sorry.
But she got a 2-pack, and so she gave me one, and I got it.
Oh,
and
no.
And I said, this deserves its own song. And she said, well, you can't really have a song about that. I said, I shall write a one-line parody record. Now, here's Alicia Bridges. This is the first verse. Okay. Please don't talk about sweet love. Please don't talk about being the truth. And all the troubles that we've been through. I don't know all the words. All of the friends we had about broken romance. She says action here, I know, and she says it funny. Okay, ready? Listen. Action!
Action!
All of this getting up to the parody record. All right.
Action!
Yeah. So this is verse 1, and before the bridge, we have the parody record, and it goes like this. I love the nightlight.
I am so sorry.
Well, I'm prepared.
I didn't know that that's where you were going with this.
Well, I mean,
had
it's so
disco
obvious.
stuck in my head,
I know.
I just didn't mean to ruin. I'm so sorry.
It's you mustn't be sorry because I got to sing, and that's what's important. Turn that off.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's what's important.
We've got to make
I
sure
got
your
to sing
talents are showcased.
Yes, we wouldn't want to be away from that. Do you have an wait, hold on. I have to do the Matlock thing. You see, you threw me just a little. Just a little, you threw me. Let's go to our next question.
Mike Lyon asks, this is for Cookie, but I do know Cake can also answer. Who has the better pizza, Vinnie Van Gogo's or Screamin' Mimi's? So those are 2 large slice pizzerias that are downtown Savannah.
Right?
You've
taken me to both.
Yeah, so I personally, I like Mimi's.
I agree.
Screamin'
was
Mimi's, yeah.
Among the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And one time we got a lot of it. And when we were driving home from your home in Savannah, you sent home a box that was left over. You combined a few pizzas and made most of it in a box. And we left Georgia, and I don't think the pizza saw South Carolina because Robert was seated near the box, and he ate it. But yeah,
growing boys.
It's an amazing pizza. Their crust is sensational.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Savannah has good drinking water? Because they say the reason New York pizza is so good is because of the drinking water.
Do
you drink tap water?
I do. Dan
Yeah.
won't. I don't care.
What does
Dan
he drink
has his-
after he goes to Orange Theory?
Dan has his own personal Brita in the fridge.
It's Alicia Bridges. I think it might be her only hit, actually.
Action! I can't imagine why.
I think she was sort of weird looking.
I can't. There's gotta be some.
Wait. I love the nightlight! Now, here's the thing. It's a very cool nightlight because, now listen, this is worth it. It comes on when the room gets dark. And I put it in the bathroom, pointed at the mirror so we get double light because it swivels. And so as soon as you turn the light off, the overhead light, it comes on so fast that I was like trying to trick it and I couldn't. And then I figured out what to do. Is I'm going to put the nightlight. I love the nightlight. And I'm going to put it in my refrigerator. So when I open the door and the light in the refrigerator comes on, the nightlight goes out. But when I close the door and the light goes out, the nightlight comes on. That way, the refrigerator is always lit.
Why?
Because you're playing with light. It's fun. Maybe I am a
But
scientist.
you're not gonna know. You're gonna have to like put your phone in there to like make sure. Because how do you know?
I know.
I don't think you do.
I do. The hard part is going to be installing an outlet in the refrigerator. I'll do it, though.
My nightlight is a chargeable battery nightlight.
Do you like it? Or do you love it?
I love my nightlight to the point I
Do you love
bought
to boogie?
I love to. I like some action.
Action!
It's like an egg shape, and it's a touch lamp, but it's the size of like an ostrich egg. Okay, so it's like.
Are you sure it's not full of pantyhose?
Mm-hmm.
In the old days, they actually came in an egg. Now it's like an egg top on a thing. When I buy hosiery, it's changed.
I've bought it for. I just like to sleep with a nightlight. I like a nightlight.
You love the nightlight, yeah.
I do. But so lest I protect my piggies. Nobody likes to stub toe. So
You end up like Dan's feet.
Is that what happened?
Maybe. No nightlights.
No nightlights.
Big flipper penguin feet running around like Oswald Cobblepot.
I think it's actually meant for like children.
The egg?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of the things in my life are meant for children.
I have given it as baby shower presents a few times.
And did they love the nightlight?
Yeah. My friend Danny, she still has one in her daughter's room.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter is going on 5 in September.
I would get it and put in a 150 watt bulb.
Oh, the best part is you can make it light sensitive. Like it has different things you can switch it to. You can also
fancy.
make it to different colors.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. You can also make it so it just very slowly like lowers and comes back up in different colors.
That's
very cool.
that would keep me awake. If
Oh yeah, no, I
watched
don't use that. I don't use that. That's crazy talk.
I know. I wonder what kind of nightlight Alicia Bridges has. Let's go back to the mailbag, shall we, as we entertain another question. I want to say thank you to BW, who sent me a birthday greeting. Thank you, BW. Very nice. Ben Neff is a good guy. I've met him many times. He lives in Alaska, and he wrote, Dear Rob, or Hi, Rob. We're having an unseasonably warm and snowless winter here in Anchorage. I'm sure everything is fine, though. It's funny. Anyway... My wife, Jen, has just started listening and has a comment and a question for Cake and Cookies. Comment. Katie, your voice is so fun. I like to hear you laugh even when I don't understand the context, which if she's a new listener, I'm guessing is often.
Yeah.
Question, Katie, what is your family like? Do you have siblings? Are you close with them? Thanks. I wish I could make it on the TMOS Love Boat cruise, but it's not in the cards this year. Your faithful listeners in Alaska, Ben and Jen Neff. There's a lot of E's, Ben and Jen Neff. So what is your family like?
I will say
I know we've discussed it in the past.
Yeah.
But.
I would say that we have a modern blended family.
Okay.
My parents divorced when I was very, very young. And remarried also while I was young. So my steps mother and father are kind of like absolute, like they're extensions. They're also like mom and dad.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
they've always been there.
I don't know that I've ever asked this. Are your actual parents, when they would encounter each other, were they cordial when you grew up?
Before he died, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like,
Kidding.
I know he had passed,
No.
but we discussed that in an earlier segment today.
When
But like
we
when you
were-
were growing up, were they cordial?
Oh no, when we were little,
Oh,
they were
wow.
awful. They that was not fun.
Okay, I understand.
But yeah, so but they made it work. I say by the time we were in high school, it was very civil.
Good. My folks were
It
always.
took some time. It took.
I
some
know
time.
Jen didn't ask, but my folks were always very cool to each other. Always have been, which is nice.
Your folks. I've met both of your parents, and they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you.
At the same time, like they're so supportive of you, even though you're,
A failure?
I was gonna say 53-year-old man.
Yeah. Well, it's you know what? Almost the same. Isn't it?
Even if they're laughing while you run, they're
That's
still so supportive.
That was half a century ago. Can you please let it go?
Oh yeah, I bet you run better now.
Oh, I do.
Oh
I do.
yeah,
Like a gazelle. Yeah.
So
You
as
put a Screaming Mimi's pizza across the street, and you see how well I run.
okay.
I'll cover some ground.
I got here first.
Get away! It doesn't touch my pepperoni.
We didn't say go.
You see, it's a perfect circle. That's why people say, God, they're really good at what they do. Let's pause and let people say that. Okay. This is a question. And I love this name. It's called Brett Butler is okay. And whoever Brett Butler is okay, I'm going to assume it's a man. I could be wrong. But Brett Butler is okay is like one of the only people that ever comments on anything I put on Instagram. So I like this Brett Butler is okay. And this is the question. It's a good one. Hi, Rob and Katie. This question is for the both of you. And I can't help but think of you guys every time I see it. A friend of mine from Blue Sky asked, is there a term similar to FOMO, fear of missing out, but like for stuff that happened or existed before your time? Because I feel that every day. I'd love to hear this addressed on the Cake and Cookies, and I will definitely share the episode with the original posters. So glad to have you back together. Your podcast is my fave. So what he's saying is there something like a phrase, like, for example, I would have loved to have been able to go to the movies in the 1930s in a theater and see the movies. But I
gonna
can't
say
have missed
something.
out on that because I wasn't born for 40 more years.
Right.
So do you have would there be a phrase that would cover that?
I think it still would be covered by FOMO.
But there's no fear of missing out. It's you've already missed out.
So is it just
It's just being
IMO?
balanced.
I missed out? IMO.
IMO. That's it. I
oh,
missed out. IMO.
I missed out. It's IMO.
I'm going to put, and you know what? You have to be careful when you type it because people might think you're saying, in my opinion. But no,
Oh,
it's I
darn
missed
it.
out.
Okay,
well,
so-
it's usually IMHO, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Unless they don't mean humble. Some people just IMO.
Because people are so prideful. They are. Damn.
But I think
Look at me run like a gazelle, he says.
I think IMO is what that is. I missed
Yeah,
out.
IMO good. Do you have any IMO things?
I'm good, thanks.
Really? Nothing from like
I'm a
time-
woman and I feel like my rights are being stripped away every day.
So do you miss out of when you had more rights like 3 months ago? Why are we laughing? That's not funny. It's not funny. So you don't have any IMO. My life is built on IMO. I mean, look at all the things that interest me, except for the occasional new television program. And I like the streaming convenience, but records and CDs and old movies and a jukebox and things like that.
That's what, your whole life is IMO.
Yeah, I bought a derby hat.
You get emo because of IMO.
Yeah, but even then, I bought vintage. I bought vintage eyeliner. So, I mean, even that's...
You're going to get pink eye.
No, the guy I got it from was very clean, like a gazelle.
No.
Thank you for your questions. You can email us anytime at, no, you can't. Well, you can. Rob at MikeO'MaraShow.com works. But the easiest way to do it is to put it on our Facebook thing. We put a thing out on Tuesday.
Heck
and
yeah.
you just ask your questions. There you go. But, just get to us or stop by the house.
Oh, we have to talk. I'm going to be up there in May.
You are? What day?
I don't think you're going to be there. I think it's Robert's graduation. I know. I'll dog sit.
Well, do you know what Justin Timberlake said? It's going to be May. That's not anything anymore. Used to be a joke. Please like us, subscribe, give us 5 stars. We need that. We're fragile.
Yes,
and
we
it
do.
helps us. And we are picking up listeners each and every week. I love it. Spread the word. We're going to keep doing this as long as you let us.
Yes, please.
We might get a certified letter that says one of these. I don't think so. Yeah. But enjoy the great video. And this is fun because a lot of people, they watch the video and try to figure out which is who. And we'll give another clue next week.
People keep asking me if I'd like wear. That's why I wore the scarf. Someone said, "Could you wear a scarf?" So
Yeah.
I know which one is you.
Yeah,
So
next week I'll wear a pink carnation,
okay.
clenched in my teeth.
And you can tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree.
Oh, that's where I blew it. I tied it around the new oak tree.
Dang it!
Tony Orlando, and you have relatives who live near Orlando. Another full circle moment.
What are you, Oprah?
Yes, that's what I am. 100% I'm Oprah. What is the matter with you? You've been drinking.
I have not.
All right, we'll do it next week again, and maybe from the road. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what'll be next week? But we will be here. Take care, everybody, and we will see you next week. So long.
Toodaloo.
We don't normally get this deep into the song. That's Katie's oboe.
Portions not affecting the outcome of today's game may have been edited prior to today's broadcast. Cake and Cookies, The Rob and Katie Show. This is Dude Walker speaking.
She doesn't have an oboe.
Katie Forbes, Von Herman, Rob Speedwack.